It's a sad day for Halo fans, as just recently 343 Industries announced that the Halo Xbox 360 servers are going to go offline in December of 2021. That means that matchmaking for Halo 3, 4, ODST, and Reach are going to go offline. This was heartbreaking news to me, but definitely not unexpected. Not only did 343 bring ODST and Reach over to the Master Chief Collection, but they ported the entire Master Chief Collection to PC as well this past year. Keeping those old servers alive when you have a newer, better version of the game running on better servers is a bit difficult and I'm sure contradictory at times. That's why 343 wanted to take those resources used to keep those servers alive and use it to further the future of Halo. As sad as this news is, it makes a lot of sense, and it seems like they need any help they can get on Halo Infinite right now. And although I wouldn't mind if Infinite gets delayed again, Microsoft probably would. But I digress. As we count down to this upcoming fateful day, now would be a great time to reflect on how Halo 2 servers were shut down to get a good idea to what we should expect. This is a story of community, passion, and most importantly, inevitability. This is the story of Noble 14. On February 5th, 2010, Microsoft announced that they will be shutting down Xbox Live services for the original Xbox starting on April 15th of the same year, mainly because not only was the active player count low, but the newest title, Halo Reach, was on the horizon. Not to mention the Xbox 360 had almost been out for 5 years at that time. This was a much bigger deal back then for Halo fans. They didn't have MCC to continue to experience Halo 2 online. This would be the end of online play for these games. So over the course of the next 2 months, people popped in their favorite Xbox games, most likely Halo 2, just to play one more match online. Before anyone knew it, it was April, and by the time the 15th rolled around, thousands of players had hopped on to say goodbye to this service in its final moments. I'm sure there were some unforgettable matches that day, and as the minutes ticked down, everyone was ready to play until that last second. And then midnight came, and nothing happened. What? But Microsoft said the service would shut down at this time today, but it seems nothing happened to the players. But that's not true. Something did happen, because now no one could log on to Xbox Live, but the people who were still actively in games and connected stayed connected until they logged off. Oh my god. Current objective, survive. Grab the Doritos, grab the Mountain Dew, get a blanket because we're gonna be here a minute. Sorry mom and dad, but school can wait. I'm gonna be a part of history. I'm sure it was exhilarating. The community was solely keeping the game alive, but the first problem people seemed to realize was that those original Xboxes weren't meant to be on for a super long period of time. What were hundreds of people began to slowly dwindle just because their consoles started to crap out. It was bound to happen to everyone eventually. It was just a matter of when. What were thousands of players became hundreds, which became tens, which eventually fell on the final 14 players. The significance behind specifically the last 14 and not any other number is because the time between the 15th and 14th player dropping was supposedly the longest time between DCs, which was about a day. Bungie stopped tracking player statistics, so it became a difficult task to determine when and in what order people disconnected. But as a couple weeks went by, more and more of the final 14 were dropping. It could have been from an internet drop, a power outage, or their Xbox dying. In fact, Microsoft even offered them Halo Reach early access codes, and while some of them took them up on that offer, very reasonably so, there were other players who didn't want to stop playing Halo 2. They were absolutely determined to keep this game alive as long as they possibly could. You can actually go to Bungie.net and view the original thread of this happening, and watch the players get cheered on as fate was crawling their way. By the time May 8th rolled around, there were only 2 players left, Agent Windex and Apache Nacer. They essentially played 1v1s as long as they could. 2 days had passed and Agent Windex ended up getting booted, leaving Apache Nacer as the last one. Agent went on the Forbes and posted this in the thread. "I just got kicked off, guys. Good job, Apache. You're the last one." And as the last man standing, he played an extra hour for every member of the Noble 14, and an extra 15th hour for the community and players lost along the way. He ended up doing a total of 22 hours as the last person before he was booted offline, and thus ending the life of Xbox Live 1.0. A small band of a committed few engaged in a battle against insurmountable odds. It's not the Noble team from Halo Reach. It's the final, passionate few who are still playing Halo 2. We wish them the best in their battle against time. And here we are today when Halo 3, ODST, Reach, and 4 are about to experience the same fate. Some of the games made it a lot longer than you would have expected. Halo 2 came out in 2004, and the service didn't end until 2010. Halo 3 came out in 2007, and it's 2021, so we can't say that this was uncalled for. But the reason I'm telling you this story is I'm curious. Could what happened with Xbox Live 1.0 happen again this time around? I wanted to know, so I did some research, and when I say research, I mean I just did this and started digging. And to be honest, I was pretty sure I had an answer before I started digging, and that's no. You see, it's not the Xbox 360 servers that are shutting down. You'll still be able to use Xbox Live 2.0. It's only the Halo Xbox 360 servers that are going offline, and even only some of them at that. It seems like a switch is just going to be flipped and that's it. Nothing works, and everyone's booted. But hey, who knows? I suppose that's what everyone thought back in Halo 2, and look what happened there. If anyone at 343 Industries sees this video by some miracle chance between now and December of 2021, I implore you to make it to where players won't get kicked off until they log off, just to see how long we can keep Halo 3 and the others alive. You guys know very well how much these games mean to people, and I don't work there. I don't understand the technicalities of it all, so I don't know if this would even be possible or would even work with this nowadays. But I would still love to see it, regardless. The amount of unforgettable moments, people, and matches that I experienced through these Halo games are soon going to be locked behind something that used to be. Sure, I have the Master Chief Collection, but there's something different about playing these games on the original hardware, and these were some of my best gaming moments ever. It was like online matchmaking was a little bit different back then. Like everyone just had their microphones turned on, and everyone was willing to party up with random strangers just to play a game together like they've been friends for years. It was a magical time, and I'm sure we'll talk about it again. But until then,